Welcome to Ghoulish Gab. Always spooky, always under 7 minutes. And let's face it, there's nothing like the first time. Today we're talking about movies that we wish we could see again for the first time and why. And Kayla, you are going to start us off.
Okay, so full disclosure, most of mine are from when I was at that teenage, and early college time, because I find I was never as gullible as I was at that era. So my first movie is from 2009, The Fourth Kind, starring Mila Jovovich,
That
Lilo
one, yeah, her.
Lilo Dallas Multipass. Basically, it's about aliens in Alaska, and when they first marketed it, they made it seem like it was this based off of a true
Mhm.
story thing. And in the movie, they cut to these different scenes. Like there was the actual film, but then there were these clips from what actually happened. And then there was a website you could go to that they marketed at the end. And I was just way too gullible. And it sincerely freaked me out. As somebody who desperately wants to believe in aliens, it it really got me. So I wish I could see that for the first time so I could feel that true, genuine terror, not just like a jump scare terror, but that true terror of holy shit, this really happened. Oh my God, where I deep searched on the internet and was convinced because I found that website that it was real. And then it turns out I'm just too gullible. And now I question everything, which I wish I didn't have to do. I'd rather just be gullible.
That movie really creeped me out. Like, I could probably say it scared me, to be
Yep.
completely honest. I watched it by myself in our old apartment, and it was like dark, and I was like, oh, this is creepy. I didn't really know anything about it. I didn't really expect it to be real, but it still creeped the shit out of me. And this will kind of tie in with my first pick as well. This was a bit of a harder subject for me because a lot of the movies I first started thinking of, like, oh, wouldn't it be fun to see Beetlejuice for the first time or American Psycho? But then I realized I have really good memories about seeing those the first time, and I don't want those memories to go away. So I was trying to find a movie where I didn't have memories attached to it other than just the movie. So that brought me to the Blair Witch Project, which kind of ties
Yes.
in with what you said because that movie was a experience. If you got to see it right away, there was all this hype. You know, this was before everybody had access to the internet all the time, and there was just all this hype and marketing that made you think that this was real. And I went and saw it opening night. It was in Minneapolis at the Mega Mall movie theater, huge theater, so many people, and everybody just they thought it was real. And I did too until the very end when the credits rolled and I saw like that it
Yeah.
wasn't real. But still, then I remember driving home right after that, and I was
Oh
like,
no.
still like free. I was just like driving at night, and I was like, that's still like, I just creeped out the whole time.
I
And
can't even I can't even imagine that drive from the cities to Duluth like
yeah,
after just watching that movie.
it was just like, yeah. So I mean, I wish I could get an experience like that again, for sure.
um Another one for me, 2011, Cabin in the Woods. This was again before we knew that Joss Whedon is creep, but I was a huge Joss Whedon fan, and that movie is full of so many hilarious one-liners, but then genuinely like not scary moments, but catch you off guard moments. And then there's so many Easter eggs that you spent so much time, like the first time you watched it, you're like, holy shit, what was that? Was that from this movie? Or was that from this movie? Or was that from this video game? And you can rewatch it. It's still enjoyable, but I don't know that anything will beat that first time where you first see, oh, that's the tooth fairy and it has like a lamprey mouth. Like it's fun to watch a movie where you can catch all these things for the first time and you'll never be able to re-experience something like that
And it
fully.
really just shifts gears at one point too, in a way that a lot of movies can't. And that's
Hmm.
really exciting to when you see that the first time as well too. When you're like, oh, this isn't just college kids in the woods anymore. This is like something completely different.
Yep.
My next pick was Psycho, and it's a movie that I've seen many times, but when I thought about it, I don't remember the first time I saw it. I don't have any memories tied to that, so it would just be a really exciting movie to see again for the first time because it's an older movie that holds up to me on almost every level. The acting, the writing, the way it's filmed, everything is just put together so good. And I think
Yeah.
it would be exciting to see it for the first time again or uh, older. And I always appreciated it, but one of those movies I appreciate more and more every time I watch as well too.
I think I agree with that one a lot because now that I'm thinking about it, I think the first time I watched that was on TV. And I would like my first time to watch Psycho to not have commercial breaks
Yeah,
because that would just make it better, I guess. By the time I
yeah,
watched it without commercial breaks, it had all been ruined.
definitely. Well, we are just about out of time, unfortunately. So if you want to tell us in the comments what some movies are that you would like to revisit for the first time or see for the first, you know what I'm saying. Do in the comments the things that we're talking about. Tell us what you thought of our picks. Make your own picks. Do whatever you want. I don't control you. Bye.